Ow. You spank me.
For now.
You spank me, I'll spank your Carmen Lopez. Let's get back to Jeopardy. Here we go. Double Jeopardy time.
Now for the Double Jeopardy round, with 2 daily doubles somewhere on the
Astronomy,
board. In these
business and
categories.
industry, classical music, history, horses, and writers with W in quotation marks. Everyone knows what that means.
Good luck. We'll begin the game with contestant number 3.
Classical music 200.
Here is the clue.
This composer's The Ring of the Nibelung was written over a 20-year period. Or the Nibelung. Nibelung, I don't know how you say it.
Contestant number 2.
Who is Richard Wagner?
You are correct. Contestant number 2.
Classical music 400. His works for solo piano include 3 sonatas and about 18 waltzes and 5 polonaises.
Contestant number 1.
Who is Frédéric Chopin?
You are
Alright,
correct.
classical music 600.
Contestant number 1.
In 1860, this Rigoletto composer was elected to Italy's Chamber of Deputies.
Contestant number 3.
Who is Puccini? Wrong!
Wrong. Contestant number 2.
Who is Giuseppe Verdi?
You are correct.
Yeah.
Contestant number
Classical
2.
music for 800. In 1875, Franz Liszt became president of the Academy of Music in this Hungarian city.
Contestant number 1.
What is Budapest?
You are correct.
Classical music for 1,000.
Contestant number 1.
He composed the Swan Lake Ballet while teaching at the Moscow Conservatory of Music. And I hope I spelled his name right. Who is Tchaikovsky? I spelled his name right, yay.
That's correct. Contestant number
Astronomy
1.
for 200. Ganymede is this largest planet's largest satellite.
Contestant number 1.
What is Jupiter?
You are correct.
Astronomy 400.
Contestant number 1.
One of these, named for Johann Franz Encke, returns every 3.3 years.
Contestant number 3.
What is a meteor? Wrong!
Incorrect. Contestant number 2.
What is a comet? Oh yeah.
You are correct. Contestant number 2.
Astronomy for 600. In 1916, Carl Schwarzschild demonstrated that very massive bodies could become these dark objects.
Contestant number 1.
What are black holes?
You are correct.
Astronomy 800.
Contestant number 1.
Also called Crux Australis, this constellation is the smallest in the sky.
Contestant number 3.
What is Cassiopeia?
Incorrect.
Wrong!
Contestant number 2.
What is the Southern Cross? Oh yeah.
You are correct. Contestant
Astronomy
number
for 1,000. Alcyone is the brightest star in this star cluster, sometimes called the Seven Sisters.
Contestant number 2.
What is 7 stars? Wrong!
Wrong.
Wrong. Wrong.
Contestant
Wrong.
number 3.
Wrong. What are Orion's belt? Wrong!
Sorry, incorrect. Anyone else?
What is Karsh Kale? That's definitely wrong.
Wrong.
Well, it's definitely wrong. I know that. Look out, Tiger. Look out. The Pleiades. I
Contestant
don't know how
number
you
2.
say it. Business and Industry 200. In October 1989, it became the first major dessert maker to have a line of fat-free cakes and cookies.
Contestant number 1.
What is... I think it might be... What is... Actually, what is Betty Crocker?
Sorry,
No.
that's incorrect.
Might be Duncan Hines, I don't know.
Contestant number 2.
What is Intamins?
You are correct.
Intamins, yeah.
Contestant number 2.
Business Industry 400. In 1907, A.L. Neiman, his wife Carrie, and this partner opened their first store in Dallas. Their first store in Dallas, Texas.
Contestant
I'd
number
better
1.
get this one. What is Neiman Marcus? Who is Neiman Marcus? Or no, let me just say who is Marcus.
You are
Herbert
correct.
Marcus Sr., yeah.
Contestant number
Business
1.
Industry for 600. After he adapted the repeating action for revolvers, he and Horace Smith formed a company to produce them.
Contestant number 3.
Who is Daniel Wesson?
Yes,
Yep.
that's correct. Contestant number 3.
Business Industry for 800. The company founded by this pair introduced the electric hammer in the 1930s and the dustbuster in 1979.
Contestant number 3.
Who are Black & Decker? Yeah.
You are correct. Contestant number
Business
3.
Industry for 1,000. In 1923, John Orr Young and this man left the NW Ayer agency to start their own advertising company.
Contestant number 2.
Who are Young and Marsh? Wrong.
Oh, sorry. That's not right. Contestant number 3.
Young and Cox?
Sorry. Incorrect.
Wrong.
Anyone else?
Wrong. 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 I don't know it, so I'm staying put. Raymond Rubicam.
Contestant number 3.
History for 200. This conflict, which began in 1899, is also known as the South African War.
Contestant number 3.
What is the Anglo-Boer War? Yep.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 3.
History for 400. In 1985, Vietnamese troops drove the Khmer Rouge from the last of their bases in this country.
Contestant number 1.
What is Cambodia?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's
History
correct.
for 600.
contestant number 1.
In 1632, this country's king Gustavus Adolphus was killed in the Battle of Lutzen.
Contestant number 1.
What is Sweden?
Yes,
History for
that's
800.
correct. Contestant number 1.
Daily Double. One of the two.
Daily Double.
It's the Daily Double.
I'm going to wager just 200.
Contestant number 1. What would you like to wager?
From 323 to 30 BC, all 15 of Egypt's Macedonian kings shared this name. What is Ramses?
Oh,
No,
sorry.
Ptolemy.
That's not right.
History 1000.
Contestant number 1.
In France, this dynasty ended in 987 with the death of Louis V, a descendant of Charlemagne. I don't know.
Contestant number 2.
What is Carolina? Wrong.
Sorry, incorrect. Contestant number 3.
What is darn it's wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's wrong.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Ow! That's gonna leave a bruise. The Carolingian, okay.
Contestant number 1.
Horse is 200. The Scottish pony was brought to America in the 1800s.
Contestant number 1.
What is a Shetland?
Yes.
Shetland pony.
That's
Horses for
correct.
400.
Contestant number 1.
Once widely used to pull funeral cars, Frisian horses are always this color.
Contestant number 1.
Are they always white?
Sorry,
No.
that's incorrect.
Wrong.
Contestant number 3.
I said white already.
Oh, sorry. That's not
You
right.
dummy.
Contestant number 2.
Black. Yeah, of course.
You are correct. Contestant number 2.
Horses for 600. Some Bedouins trace this breed's ancestry to Baz, a mare tamed by a descendant of Noah.
Contestant number 1.
What is Arabian?
You are are
Yeah,
correct.
horse is 800.
Contestant number 1, the answer is...
Many of these performing horses are raised at Austria's Piberstud near Graz. Heck if I know.
Contestant number 2,
What are Percherons? Wrong!
sorry, that's incorrect.
And he's now in the hole.
Contestant number 3,
What are the Lipizaners? Yeah.
yes, that's correct. Contestant number 3,
Horse is 1,000. The other daily double.
Daily double.
Carmen still has minus 1900, so she's going to go 1,000. Just the clue. The Lusitano is this country's version of the Spanish Andalusian. What is Portugal? That's
you
the
are
one.
correct. Contestant
Riders
number
for
3,
200. His The Time Machine was first published as The Chronic Argonauts.
Contestant number 1,
Who is H.G. Wells? 400.
yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1, the answer there is...
He left the LA Police Department in 1974, the year after The Onion Field came out.
Contestant number 2,
Who is Wodehouse? Wrong!
sorry, that's incorrect.
Keep playing like this, Ted, you won't be around for Final
Contestant number
Jeopardy.
3,
Joseph Wambaugh?
you are
Yeah.
correct. Contestant number 3,
600. He narrated a recording of his kid's story, Charlotte's Web.
contestant number 1,
Who is E.B. White?
you are correct.
800.
Contestant number 1,
He won 3 Pulitzer Prizes, 1 for All the King's Men and 2 for poetry.
contestant number 3,
Robert Penn Warren?
you are
Yep.
correct. Contestant
Ted, you want to be
number
around for
3,
Final Jeopardy, you gotta get this right. The subtitle of his The Loved One is An Anglo-American Tragedy.
Contestant number 3,
Evelyn Waugh. So
You
Carmen
are
will be around
correct.
for Final Jeopardy, Ted will not.
the Final Jeopardy
Category is the 50
is...
states.
Contestant number 1, what would you like to wager?
$800.
The Final Jeopardy clue is...
The clue is, new in the 1993 World Almanac is the spelling of this state's name, which now has a glottal stop mark in it. What is Hawaii?
Contestant number 3, your Final Jeopardy response was... No, I'm afraid that is not correct. Let's see what contestant number 3...
Carmen said Alaska. It is Hawaii, but I might have needed to include the ampersand. Or no, the
Total.
apostrophe. Will they give it to me?
Contestant number 1, your Final Jeopardy response was... Yes.
They'll give
Let's
it
see
to
what
me.
Contestant number 1 wagered.
So I get to start a run with $10,000.
10,000.
Contestant number 1, you are now the reigning Jeopardy champion. Congratulations.
Thank you, Alex Trebek. So I'll get to start an all-new, fresh run of the 1995 PC version of Jeopardy. Jeopardy. With 10 grand in cash.
Yes.
And I'll film and post my second game in good time. And we'll see y'all for my next video coming soon.
Wrong.